Good day, class. Before I introduce our new lesson in oral communication, let's have first an activity. In this activity, primarily, your task is to identify the purpose of the speech. Let's begin with the situation 1. Here, Mang Tani is the resident weatherman of the news show 24 Horas. He goes live on television every 7 p.m. to update us on the weather. And what else could be done during weather-related disasters? Class, please identify the purpose of the first situation. The answer is, this one is an example of an informative speech. What do you think is the purpose of situation number 2? This one is an example of a persuasive speech. Situation 3. Red loves to watch horror movies. Every break time, they will ask him to share to them some of the horror stories that terrifies him the most, whether true or fictional. Based from the situation, what do you think is the purpose of it? The correct answer is entertainment speech. Well done, class, in accomplishing your activity. Now let's dive into our lesson. This is all about types of speech according to purpose. Here are the lesson objectives that we have. First, you must be able to distinguish types of speeches according to purpose. Second, you are expected to use principles of effective speech delivery in different situations. And finally, you should be able to apply learning thinking and life skills in understanding the types of speech acts. These are the objectives that we have to accomplish at the end of our lesson. Let's define first what is a speech communication. This is just a recap. When we say speech communication, it refers to the use of the oral medium of passing information, whether formally or informally, by a speaker to an audience. The information could be a speaker's way to be understood on a topic, building an argument and evoking emotions among the audience. Since we're talking about speech communication per se, let's have the following types of speech according to purpose. We have three. First is informative speech, second is persuasive speech, and the third one is entertainment speech. Informative speech. An informative speech is one where the speaker intends to educate their audience on a specific topic. It presents factual information where the content has to be carefully researched, planned, and organized. The main objective is to inform the audience. That's why it's been called informative speech. Here, the goal of the speaker such a speech is to take a complex subject matter and present information that allows the audience to better understand or learn the topic. That's informative speech. Second, we have persuasive speech. A persuasive speech aims to convince the audience from the word itself, persuade, convince, hikayatin, no? To believe a certain viewpoint, opinion, or idea. The end goal is to change the mind of your audience and to persuade them into action or thought, where a persuasive speech often describes facts, values, and policies. It is the most challenging of the types of speeches, most especially if the audience already have their own viewpoint about a certain topic. It is a challenge to persuade them. It aims to change the attitude and beliefs of the listeners and incite them to do a course of action. And just like what I mentioned earlier, the main objective is to simply convince or persuade rather the audience. Lastly, we have entertainment speech. Here, the listener is not obliged to remember the information nor follow a course of action. The listener only has to sit back and enjoy the information received. The main objective is to simply entertain the audience. That's it. The purpose of an entertainment speech is to amuse, or just like what I mentioned earlier, entertain the audience. That's it. That sums up our discussion for this day. We have just discussed quickly the different types of speech according to purpose. We have the following: informative speech. It refers when we present factual information. Persuasive speech. It influences the thinking or behavior. And entertainment speech. It provides an enjoyable experience where the audience may simply enjoy and amuse about your speech. That's it. If you have further question, clarification, and or comment, you can simply drop your question below. But of course, um, I will just put one question here. Why is it important to know the purpose of speech in communication? Please leave your answer sa comment box. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next week, class.